It's time again.
All right. It's time again for the Mikey Now. Ready? Hey, everybody. It's time again for the Mikey Now podcast. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Al.
And I'm Nicholas. That's my phone name.
And we got Vin in the back.
Vin's in the back.
Vin's in my back. Mike. Yeah, Mike's already doing it. We've had comments asking for you to just use the machine. Oh, okay. Now you hit the buttons. The red buttons that your fingers are on.
Oh.
He's going to fuck it up.
Oh! Holy shit. That's
Nice.
the first time I've ever won anything.
Hit it again. You got to go to your hit the lever. Hit the black thing. The black thing. There you go. You got to hit the buttons when you're ready.
I just kind of want to hear
That would have
this
been a hell of a
show.
payout.
It's kind of relaxing. All
Okay,
right.
don't do that.
I feel like there's a highway in the background.
We're definitely going to blow a circuit. Oh, well. Okay. All right.
I got to get coins in
It's
there.
just to show it's not rigged right there. You know what I mean?
There you go. That was cool.
Yeah. I wonder what those 3 shells would have paid out. Probably big money.
Big money.
Ah.
I don't know. They're Chinese.
3 fans.
They're
That
yen.
was cool right off the bat.
Yep.
Is that Mandarin?
I've never gotten that.
I'm really American, so I actually don't know. Is that
You're
Chinese?
not really American. You actually were.
Yeah, right here. See?
You're actually brought over on a fucking boat.
Big
So you're sort of Russian?
big chances 15.
Yeah, that's what it says there.
Yeah.
No, those are hieroglyphics.
Oh,
Hieroglyphics.
I wonder if Nick
hieroglyphics.
was smuggled into the country or was he actually legitimately?
no, I was legitimately purchased.
It was like IKEA. You could just pick.
Yeah. Except they fucked up the assembly.
You were purchased?
Yeah.
What did you cost?
Exactly. What did you cost?
A lot.
Look up the
Like-
going rate of a Russian ginger in 19...
No, the adoption. And it was one of the last years. It was 2000 and
How much is a
'cause you're worth it.
it was 2002 when my parents brought me across the ocean.
That's great, man. That was like a Katharine Hepburn.
And we are not making fun. Anybody who's adopting kids, we love you, and we're making fun of Nick specifically.
Oh yeah, I think adoption is probably needs to be more prevalent
It really
Kids
does.
in general.
because everybody
are
wants their
already
genes out there. You know, I don't want mine. I want to adopt.
Yeah.
Kids that are
I
just
want-
like, I'm not. Well, I don't know what's up. You know, the kid's fucked up.
because
Yeah,
it's,
that's the only problem with adoption.
Yeah.
You know what I watched?
Yeah, but when the kid's yours, you got to own it.
It's true.
That seems like an equal
Yeah,
liability.
but when you own it, then at least let's say your kid fucks you up, and to
You
be
can
honest,
understand
I
it.
watched a series. I know we're getting off topic. It's on Vice. It's called Killer Kids. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen that?
No.
It's the most. Oh, it's when these kids. I mean, a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're coming from abused homes, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then they get adopted into homes, but a lot of times they're abused prior to in other homes. So they're like transferring. What do you call them? Those
trauma,
homes?
generational trauma.
No, it's not a generational trauma. It's basically they go from home to home. What are they? Foster homes, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
And a lot of the foster parents. I mean, God bless foster parents out there. Again, no comments, negative, but most foster parents are out there doing the right thing, right?
Yeah.
But there are foster parents out there who just want that money from the state.
Yeah.
Or are abusive.
Yeah, or abusive. And some of these kids just they just snap and they're like, fuck this. I'm killing everybody.
Oh, I got it.
Literally, the whole series.
Because they got 15 refugees up in their upstairs.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Pronounced refugi.
This one,
Please.
it was
Thank
crazy.
you.
It was about this Dominican kid, right? Who his father.
No, was he was from the Dominican
He was
Republic?
from the Dominican Republic.
How old was he when he was
Now-
adopted?
This one wasn't adopted. What happened was his father left him in the Dominican Republic, went to the United States, had this amazing life. This kid was lived in the Dominican Republic until he was like 12 or 13. Then his father finally said, you know what, come on over.
Perfect age to stab your dad.
Right. So brought him over. Now,
Yeah, you're just getting that testosterone, right?
his father had
And you're
had
not
an-
mature
had
enough to-
another wife, had 3 other kids, and had this beautiful life. And then this kid came over. His father's finally like, okay, coming over. And the kid was like 14. And then the other kids is like, who's this fucking loser kid here?
Yeah.
Can't speak English. None of the
Yeah, he's got a baseball mitt made out of cardboard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Treated him like absolute shit.
Well, there
And
you
he
have
had
it right there.
Right. And he had such a bad life in the Dominican when his father left.
Yeah.
He had all these built up feelings, and then couldn't stand his siblings and whatnot, and then fucking just one time flipped.
Killed everybody, or
Killed
just
them all.
really?
Killed them all.
They antagonized him.
They antagonized him. They did all again, and you
don't
wonder,
poke the kitty.
You don't poke the kitty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see someone's doing something fucking insane.
Yeah.
Don't mention it.
Don't
you don't need to mention it.
Yeah.
Just laugh on the inside and keep walking at the same pace.
Yeah, but it was his own father, and then you see these. I mean, I watched because it was like it was like a day where it was like killer kids for 7 hours. So I just kept watching.
See, that'll start warping your mind, right? Yeah, it starts to seep into your emotions.
He checked in his son's room.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck are you
exactly. Exactly. It was just crazy. And these kids just flip out. And some kids will kill other kids, like this one kid.
Yeah, you're like, Nick, I love you.
Yeah.
All right, Dad, you told me that every half
This
hour
kid
for
was
like 6 hours.
13 years
You know?
old. He killed a 9-year-old kid. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this country?
Have you
He
had to deal
beat
with
him over the head
9-year-old?
with a goddamn fucking hammer. I was like, what do you do? I mean, I don't even understand.
Maybe he was used to
what the.
Yeah. The value of human life there.
Yeah,
You know, where you flipped like that.
There's a difference
flip
though.
like that.
right?
Yeah.
They don't. I think those kids, they're either whether they're abused,
Yeah, they don't get the value
or
of life
whether
at that age.
whether it's through the trauma that has shaped them in this way, or if they're naturally one of those people that is actually psychotic, or what's that word that we throw around all the time for killers?
Nick. Anyway,
Don't reveal my secrets. No, you know what I mean. So it's psychopathic,
Psychopathic.
where they have no ability to connect,
Empathize.
To empathize, they have no ability to feel those emotions.
now I don't disagree, but here's what as I was watching all these, every 30 minutes there was another one, and these kids.
What's the next one? I'm kind of interested,
it's
man.
like SVU, but
Kids
terrible.
They never, they always go to that fucking to the police station and end up confessing. They're like, okay, I did it, blah blah blah, and a lot of them because they're so young.
So are they driven? I mean, what's the exact?
6, 7, 8 years.
I
That's
wonder
about it.
what the exact circumstance is when they go over the edge, though. You know,
Well, I'll tell you, for me, it was no.
are they being pushed over the edge? I mean, Nick, you got a good stand-up joke like that about bullies, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting
that
because every situation is different and unique, and some come from homes that are unbelievably well taken care of, like this one kid.
Yeah.
And I can't remember where it was from, and it was an episode. He killed his entire family, and his father was a lawyer, his mother was a teacher. He had 2 little brothers. He shot everybody in the household, and what it came down to?
What?
He wanted
A new PlayStation.
no,
Right.
No, but it's things like
he
that,
was
right?
he was like 16, 17 years old,
that's
and he knew his father's worth a lot of money. He didn't want
Oh,
anybody else to
God.
have
So
any
that's
inheritance.
That's
He
psychopath.
just fucking killed everybody because he thought he can get.
That's a
get away.
psychopath.
That's my point.
That is a psychopath.
Well, I understand, but all these kids have to be somewhat psychopaths.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Okay, a lot of them had trauma. Don't get me wrong.
And
but
when
this kid lived a great life.
Yeah.
So it just amazed me that it can come at anywhere at any given time. No
Yeah, it's
matter
either
what
the poor kid with the violent background, right?
Right,
Or it's the rich kid who has no love.
Absolutely. Well, no, he
No,
had
right?
love.
He
He
had-
had love.
He did.
He just had. There was just some kind of streak in him that
He's
didn't
missing a
get-
That's
part
a
of his
thing.
brain,
There was no empathy.
right?
That is, and I don't want to. You
Maybe
can't.
it's empathy is the word.
Empathy is the word. He's one of those. That's
Yeah.
That's the
Oh, yeah.
definition, right?
And,
Psychopathic.
yeah, once
you're
you
just
lose your
not-
empathy,
Yeah.
even if very little,
He never had it though. That's
I think
the
you're
thing.
fucked, or the rest of the world's
Yeah,
fucked.
but it's just crazy what some of these kids are doing. They're beating kids. They're beating their fucking siblings with bad. I mean, I don't even want to get it. It's just.
There's-
But watch. I mean,
I'm not watching.
Don't watch.
Yeah, I'm not
Kids
watching
on
this show.
Vice for. Don't. I did a
Sponsor
binge
us.
episode of that for like a day.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I was like, "Holy shit! This."
Yeah,
I was like, "The world sucks."
Most people watch Game of Thrones and it's all fantasy violence. Alex is like, oh wow, that happened down the street. No.
Killer Kids. It was the weird. And Vice, though, I will tell you that Vice channel,
Uh-huh.
they're on the cusp.
They
Man.
got some hip shit,
They
right?
have some hip shit that they come up with. Thank you, man.
I feel bad for the 13-year-old more so. I mean, they know what they're doing at 13, right?
You do barely.
Like a 6-year-old, I don't think I can fault a 6-year-old for killing. I I don't know.
Well,
Anybody.
nobody. There was no 6-year-old killer.
There were no 6-year-old
killers.
killers?
There were 13. No, but they're all like anywhere from 13 to like 18. But it's interesting because it depends what state you live in. Like a 13-year-old, depending upon the state,
He's an
let's
adult.
say he
Be tried as
kills
an adult.
Ken.
or not.
Oh.
So the 13-year-old can kill 4 people and
Yeah, be out by 18.
Be
Well,
out by fucking
I think they can do-
21 or some shit
Jeez.
like that.
If they can prove like that it's one
Jeez,
of those
crazy.
inheritance, trying to get the inheritance type situations, which would be so fucking stupid for a 13-year-old. He's got 8 more years or whatever, 7 years. But if they can prove that, I think some states have that where they can just bypass that not being tried as an adult thing and just force that jury to try this murderer as an adult.
There you go.
Well, I'm glad you think, but that's not the case. All right, next, so you're not that goddamn smart.
I'm not-
Anyway,
Wow.
normalization, I'm just playing. There is not that case.
How's
You're
that water?
The water is very good. All right, so it's just crazy, though, that can occur in life, that you have to worry about your children killing you in your own fucking house. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, my God.
The majority,
Don't have
right?
enough to worry about?
The majority
the
don't.
bills and
Yeah.
Of course
Yeah, your
not.
kid killing you?
And you know what? This could be a very
So do you think it's riskier
These
to
could
I
adopt?
don't know
just
if this
be-
episode is actually. I mean, this
These
could
are
be a very
This is a
anomalies,
good,
right?
interesting
episode.
conversation for sure. Do you think it's riskier to adopt or foster then?
I think it's definitely riskier.
Than
Well, it
the-
depends on it.
Because you
What
don't
your
know-
what your family's mental
You don't know
history
what-
is.
yeah, exactly.
I have no clue.
Well, you don't know what gene
I do.
sequence you're getting. I mean, to be
I have a
honest with you,
pretty good clue.
but am I
Full
correct?
write up on you.
Shut up.
All right, sorry.
Do you know what gene sequence you're getting? I mean, when you adopt, because you're adopting that whole
Not
whole
always.
person's hereditary background.
Boom. Yeah, I'll take it.
You know what I mean?
I love the crapshoot of it.
Well, you're
I mean,
a
don't
crapshoot.
get me
no matter
wrong.
what, right?
I'm a crapshoot guy.
It's a crapshoot no
Yeah,
matter
I don't. I definitely don't want someone with my genes.
Because you know, yeah.
You got to base it on that.
What, so
if
you-
you're like a beautiful person, you look in the mirror every day and you're like, oh man.
So you
I'd
want
love
to
find
surprise?
someone who looks exactly like me, so we can make another one that looks just like us.
Yeah, but you know what? Your family ultimately has done very, very well. I
Very
know.
well. They're beautiful.
They're beautiful.
They are.
I know
Yeah.
you and your
I'm
pop-
just speaking
I
from
know
a
you-
single guy, you know.
I know
I'll
you-
give it to you and Kristen, but
You and your pops had your back and forth, but you know, all in all,
Going good.
yeah,
Great.
all
I don't
in
know.
all. Speaking of which, he said recently you were going down there or something like that.
He did.
You have no idea. You're like, okay, I'll be.
don't
I
forget-
mentioned
I'll
it
get back
to
to you
him.
on that one.
I mentioned something like that to him, but usually it's in passing. That's
Oh,
nice.
okay.
That means
All
maybe
right.
he wants me to come on
They'd be
down
like,
there.
hey, you
know,
gonna
it's
come down
getting cold.
anytime? And they're like, yeah, okay, bye.
No, because
Yeah.
Oh,
Bad
wait, the
reception.
game's on.
yeah. I think he said something like they're shooting now for the new show.
We had to watch Paul's dog.
Yeah, he's
well.
doing something with Jesse James and Billy Lane. And
Yeah, we talked
Yeah.
about that a little bit ago.
We did.
Yeah, that was
Right,
coming
but
out.
I didn't know it was coming out that quick. I think they're actually really
Releasing it.
on par with that.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's really cool. Did he talk to you about that or no?
Not
Have you-
much.
no.
No.
I'm curious how it's gonna
Just show up on set.
unfold. Like, is it a show like on TV, or I think it's just like you gotta pay to be part of the.
I think it's a pay.
It's a pay kind of per view.
I
kind
think
of a thing?
so. Yeah, I
All
think
right.
so.
Listen, however they do it, I'm sure they know, you
Yeah.
know, better than us.
Oh, way better. Yeah, jeez. We're coming to you from a bunker from the Cold War.
Exactly.
Been here for
Exactly.
3
I'm
months.
sure they got a lot more intelligent people out there knowing what's going on.
Yeah, they got like
pro.
pros running around with
Yeah.
like, you know, like a whole loop over here with
Yeah.
tape, all different tapes hanging from it, and
Absolutely.
like a Leatherman, and you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
wearing skinny jeans and like a plaid shirt and a Scully
They're doing their thing, right?
and a pair of kids.
You know what's interesting? I wonder how they brought in, because obviously Jesse James is very I mean, he's in the community, biker community, just a well-known name. Obviously, your father, Billy Lane as well. But I'm wondering how they brought Billy Lane in, because I don't recall your father. I know him and Jesse James were always there, but
Yeah.
I never recall Billy Lane, how he got into that. Or
I think he
was
drove.
he always a fan of Billy Lane's?
I was always a big fan of his bikes.
I know you were,
Yeah,
but your pops, I don't know where that relationship came from.
I think he's more friends with Jesse.
Right. So was
And then
it
it started-
Jesse who brought in Billy, or
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, they had that
That's
bike
more of
build
that
off.
South.
Jesse and your dad and your brother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
the relationship started back then.
Yeah. Do you understand? Ben
Jesse was
has
a nice
such
guy.
a more masculine voice than Nick.
What do you mean? This is Nick.
That's
That
that's
is
what
nice.
happens
Yeah,
when you grow
it's
older.
just hit puberty.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what happens when you
Just-
grow older. And I've
don't
noticed it
listen
in the
to that
past
now.
couple of years myself that I have my high moments like this, and then I wake up in the morning and I get a Vin voice.
Get Johnny Cash voice.
You got Johnny.
I gotta work on
Or
that
when
Johnny
you,
Cash.
When you get sick.
And jump in.
You know, you get that.
So
Well, I don't remember.
we got. I know we've talked about this. We talked about like normalization of weed.
Normalization of weed.
Yeah, because there's a place that we go to.
Who's normal?
It's called Curaleaf.
Yes.
And
Over
it's
here in
predominantly
Newburgh,
by
New York.
Ben. And you know, they service everybody. You know, anybody who's in ailments, I guess. God forbid you have cancer, whatnot. They're there for them. But it seems like, you know, and I think Vin mentioned that as you get older nowadays, I wonder if weed's going to be looked at in 15 years. Like you can just have it in your fridge.
It's on the coffee table. Or,
It's almost like in the coffee table or something. You know,
Yeah.
because right now you can have beer in your fridge, right?
Yeah.
And your kids are probably they're forbidden to have it until they're of age.
and it's in
and they
there. They
respect
know
that.
not to have it.
They respect that.
For the most
Yeah.
part, right?
Yeah.
Don't
For
do
the
it in
most
front
part.
of you.
Yeah, they'll probably steal here and there, like we all did, right?
Sure, but if you got a 6-pack in the fridge and it's dad's, he knows how many you're missing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
who
but that
never
vodka gets filled with water, right?
who never raided their parents' liquor cabinet?
Now they're going to be raiding the weed.
Exactly, but who never raided their liquor cabinet? I gotta say,
Oh, totally.
when my father had a liquor cabinet, I used to raid it. And you know what I used to do?
Just
And I'm
mix
sure
everything.
I'm sure no, but what I used to do, and I'm sure everybody did this, and if they didn't, they're not that smart. But you would have vodka, for instance.
Yeah.
So if you took a certain portion of vodka, what would you do?
Add anything to it, right?
You'd add water to it.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, to water down the
Yep.
bottles. Yeah,
Water
absolutely.
down the bottle. So
yeah.
okay, so you got a half bottle of fucking vodka, right?
Yeah.
And you take a little half, and then you add half.
Add half, yeah.
You
Dad
like
notices
nothing
it's 25%
Exactly.
alcohol.
How old were you when you learned that vodka doesn't freeze, right? So you take it from the freezer, you put water, you put it back, and your parents find a frozen bottle of vodka.
Or something that swells and busts.
That's true too.
Yeah.
That's true too. But you know what? My father never put vodka in the fridge. I mean, he didn't put it in the freezer. It was like a liquor cabinet, right?
Yeah.
You know, it was like behind a bar.
Like that's old school, huh?
Yeah, you
That's
know,
old
so
school.
you had all your liquor and whatnot. So you could take a little bit here and there, and you already knew what the measurement was and whatever. And you and your friends, you know, when you're 18 or 17,
Sure, you want a
okay,
couple of Chardonnays?
a couple of shots here and there,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to spread it around over the whole entire liquor cabinet because you didn't want to take too much of one thing. Yeah, and then they'd be like, you know, okay, what are you doing? Like, why is my liquor? I was like, hey.
But
that's
Dad,
on
that was
That's
you,
on
Dad.
you.
That was
Yeah.
you, Dad.
Yeah. You
Remember you hit me last
Bring
night? No?
Ah,
Exactly.
yeah, you really got out of hand.
You
You,
really
almost
got
hit
out of
Mom. Keep it down.
What do you got? Al, I got to
I
ask
won't
you.
mention again.
You got kids, Mike. You not yet.
Yeah.
Do you hide your weed? Like, what do you do with your weed?
I don't smoke weed.
If you were to smoke weed, would you
It's
hide
still,
it?
still dirty.
I would probably hide it, and I'm sure they would find it. But at the same time, you know, kids are smart, and
They get it.
they get it.
Yeah,
They're
it's
not
sort of an
stupid.
unspoken thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's sort of an
Right?
unspoken thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, but as you get older,
But as an adult, you should, as their dad, they should respect the fact that you want to just keep what you do to you, right?
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell you,
It's kind of
as I told people in the last episode, I'm a new dad, and I actually had this discussion. My daughter was sleeping. I was smoking. I was talking to my wife. I was like, I don't think I'm going to hide this. It's fully legal. Her generation, it's going to be fully legal.
yeah. But your daughter's how old?
She's almost 1.
Okay. Well,
So
you got
that-
another
yeah,
15 years
yeah.
for that to progress, where it literally is going to be that way. You're probably going to have like, you know, at that point, 15 years from now, I'm going to almost guess that you may be able to order that shit sometimes at some kind of restaurant or whatnot.
I
if you
imagine
got-
it'd be like cigarettes at some point. You go to the gas station, and you just
Yeah,
pick
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
up 6
At
joints.
some point, as it's progressing, because I mean, once the federal government says, you know what, we're good, then it's going to just be a...
I had a thought, actually. I want to bring this up to Mike, because Mike's our local weed guy in here.
What do we got, man? What do you want to know?
Someone spoke to me about legal marijuana, and they brought up a good point. So the stuff you get off the streets, sometimes it's dry, this, that.
Yeah.
But when you go to these dispensaries, they got these things put away. They got cases of this thing in the back.
Yep.
Do you think because the government, whatever, is getting involved, that they're going to get the clearance to put pesticides on it, like they do with our food, to make it last longer, smell better, smoke
he's
better?
going deep.
Yeah, I think it's already borderline there.
You think so?
Yeah, because the quality in which they grow it is, I think, like on a mass production, like anything, it just starts to thin out, and it's
yeah, like you know, you get an apple from a tree, that thing goes bad in 2 days. But you get an apple from the grocery store, that apple lasts you the month.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, there's preservative in there. I think they're probably already doing it now that you mention it.
Right?
To be honest with you, I didn't know that. I thought what I got from the grocery store was like...
Yeah, fresh.
I thought it was
or
fresh.
Non-preserved.
Guess not.
Yeah, I don't know. An organic apple should go bad quicker, right?
You would think, right?
But I don't think it does.
You know what? Here's what I don't get about apples, because they say that when you see an apple with a little hole in it, that's a good thing because a worm went out the apple.
Uh-huh.
I heard that.
Oh, really?
I've heard that. I don't know if it's true, because if I saw an apple with a little hole in it, like a wormhole,
You wouldn't buy it.
I wouldn't eat it.
No.
But they're saying that's what you should do, because that means the worm came out of the apple versus in the apple if it's an organic apple. And I don't know the case.
Really?
So
That is freaking me out, the white paper. No, I'm cool with that, Nick.
Nick, you got a tight ass, huh? Where'd you get that ass?
He works
CrossFit. He's also the probie who's running up and down the steps with the
honestly,
hose.
I need to get on
The adoption stories, they got them.
They're like,
They picked him by his ass to adopt him.
They did.
they're like, go over to that house. You see those steps? Just run up and down.
Yep.
We'll be back in a few hours.
Yeah, we'll be back soon,
No, I'm
Peaches.
saying they picked you because you got a nice ass. When they went to look at the babies, they went, that one's got a nice ass. We're taking that one.
Peaches. Yeah, Peaches and Cream. It's short for Peaches and Cream.
Oh,
We're gonna have to do
okay.
this an apology episode after what I said on
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Oh, you're okay, Nick.
You're good to go. I just
You know-
gotta cut around it. As long as I have the audio synced, we're good.
I wonder if, let's say in 15, 20 years, let's say, Vin had mentioned he has a 1-year-old. If weed's going to be to the point where you can just go to the store, maybe just like a 6-pack, and, pick it up at the corner market, and everything is sort of labeled, you know what content you have, that kind of a thing.
Well, that exists everywhere but here in New York. For the most part, you can do that without medical.
A lot of states, yeah. I guess in Oregon, in
Jersey now.
Jersey, in Colorado.
Cali, yeah.
I wonder if the black market price has been driven way down in those places.
Well,
can you get
they
an
have
out-
not, which I'm surprised about.
what's the deal?
I
You
still get
can-
texts from a weed dealer, and the prices are more expensive than the dispensary. And I tell him that,
Really?
and I say, stop sending me these. I'm never buying from you again. And he doesn't stop.
Well, it's not that hard.
Hey, man, I got something new. I think you like
It's
it.
not that hard to get a card from a dispensary nowadays. I mean, nowadays it's pretty much you got to say, hey, my back hurts, and they'll give you a card.
You don't even have to tell them. They tell you, does your back hurt?
Yeah.
And you say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my elbow, neck, back, the whole
Exactly.
thing.
So let me. So what would make the black market more appealing to somebody? I don't know the answer to that question.
More volume, I think.
What do you mean?
Well, what's Cureleaf get you for an eighth?
An eighth.
I mean, what's the
expands.
dispensary get you
They-
for the eighth?
They have sales, so you can get an eighth for 30. You can get an eighth for 45. When no sales are going on, high end 55, 50, 45.
And
So
it's primo?
oh yeah,
Yeah, good to the last drop.
I would
huh?
say yeah.
Savor every.
I would say it's good enough where I won't buy from
Let it dance out of
dealers
your
anymore.
nose.
I'm only going there.
Now, what would you say to that? Because I don't know the response to that. I wouldn't know. Is that,
that's
is that a good price?
Yeah, you're getting really great. Quality is hard to come by,
Right.
especially on the black market, and consistency.
Yeah.
So a lot of the mom and pop growers went out of business once
Yeah.
we really let the floodgates go on the legalization here, right? So you don't get consistently the same homegrown stuff that you used to. So now you're subject to an overturn of whatever surplus is coming in from wherever.
Right. Because you got friends who out there and they try to do their own thing and they're trying to grow their,
Yep.
like 1 or 2 plants, and then it ends up being like this homegrown
piece of shit.
Shit.
Tastes like spinach.
And they're so hype about it, they can't wait to show you the pictures of their plant.
Yeah. And you don't even want to put it in your. You don't even want to put it in your pipe. You don't want to be a snob.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's like burning plastic or something. Would you put Miracle Grow in there, bud?
Yeah.
Everywhere you got a text, plant's almost here. Plant's
Everybody.
almost ready.
Yeah, everybody.
I learned quite a bit about weed growing, right? When I was growing weed, I worked for someone. And Miracle Grow only works on one phase of the plant's growth. And it'll.
It's early, right? Early in the.
I think the early, yeah. I'd have to look into it.
You
but
were
it
joking.
It
So
greatly.
they actually
No,
use
yeah,
that.
they use it.
They use it, yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
everybody.
that.
Because rule of thumb, it grows everything great, but it's not really conducive to growing
I
weed
didn't know that.
properly.
I think it's more to get the
So
stalk
fuck it up.
going. I think once the buds come out, probably leave that thing alone, right?
Yeah, start hitting it with some Herculesian harvest, some Medusa's magic.
There's always discussion. What is
You got to check the pH.
you gotta change them? Okay.
All right.
So what makes a homegrown?
Uh-huh.
This is a question. A homegrown different than you get this. I don't know, this diesel and all this other shit that these people are growing that have all these crystals on it. What is the content there that they're doing that is so different than somebody just planting the shit in their backyard?
Are you dealing with genetics? So you need good genetics. You need to find a plant that comes from really good genetics.
Okay.
Because you get the same breed, and someone's like, "Well, that's Runts or blueberry shit cake or whatever the fuck's popular."
They all have these names, right?
All these names,
Blueberry
oh, boy.
fucking diesel,
Whew.
blueberry
tongue twisters, bunch of tongue
shit
twisters.
Cake this or whatnot. But go ahead.
And then it's how you grow it. If it's indoor, you're going to be able to maximize your controlled environment in order to make the best. Outdoor, you're
indoor
subject
be
to the
better?
environment.
Would be indoor. Indoor is probably when you see these movies and they have these fucking.
Right?
What was that movie with? I think it was
Pineapple Express.
Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
Pineapple Express was a good one too, though. But same thing with Matthew
Oh,
McConaughey.
the British film.
British film.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But they all had these underground fucking layers, and there's like 50,000 plants and all this kind of shit. Do you think that exists?
I think so, right?
Really?
Like an irrigation
like,
system
what's his
with,
name?
grow experts.
What's his name? The guy, the mobster got jailed, the Mexican cartel.
Sammy the Bull? No.
Chapo. You
Oh,
had to think
Chapo.
Chapo has miles underground of that,
Yeah.
He was leaving through tunnels like that was their thing.
But that was Colombia, though, right?
Does he have it anymore?
Yeah, true. But cocaine and weed hand in hand, right?
They make money and people kill for it. Right?
About that. I mean,
Weed triangle up in California before legalization, there were a lot of people killing.
Yeah. Did you watch that
jumping
documentary
claims.
where they said it was like a Bigfoot killing people?
Yeah.
And
Oh, really?
It was just the growers killing people, and they started that rumor so people would stop going to their
Oh, really?
grow
Stop.
site.
Yeah.
Just
You know-
massacring.
That's fake news.
I-
Bigfoot is real.
Yeah. Poor Bigfoot getting bad
Sorry,
press.
Bigfoot. We know you're listening.
I don't. I gotta say, in terms of weed and what, when you think of weed nowadays, if you got Willie Nelson who's like 95 and fucking smokes weed every day, and then you got Snoop Dogg and all these, I wonder. As we grew up, weed was taboo. Am I correct?
It led to heroin.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were a fucking piece of shit if you
You're a
smoked.
piece of shit if you smoke.
And I was
weed.
raised with that. I can't even imagine that being in my brain.
Isn't that
But when I was a
crazy,
kid,
though?
yeah.
But I will tell you, in my opinion,
And I think they really just didn't like it because it makes people kind of like, not independent thinkers, but it makes
Yeah.
you rethink the wheel a bit.
I think you're
Right?
right.
It gives you an outside perspective from yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're a square like they want you to be,
Yeah.
you're probably going to go outside of that and think for a second.
I agree.
They don't like that long-haired hippie shit, man.
No, that's true.
Talk
But
about
I
the-
think that's wrong because I
They'll
truly
bust
believe,
your ass.
I truly believe, and I thought about this. I think, when we were growing up, into the 2000s and whatnot, if your parents went out, they were probably drinking. They weren't smoking weed.
No.
And if they were, they probably were trying to hide it, that kind of a thing. But if you look at it from a conceptual standpoint, I think there's so many relationships that could have been saved if they just smoked weed instead of drinking, because drinking
right?
just gets
Yeah.
people
Yeah, my
fucking out of their mind, and they're fucking throwing shit and beating the shit out of the
Yeah.
fucking windows.
Like, alcohol
they-
brings the ego, and I
I
feel like
remember
weed takes it away.
I was smoking a joint with a friend of mine who just drinks his brother one time. And he came over and he was talking to his brother and he's like, "You're better than this."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what, to get drunk? Get the fuck out of here. What are you crazy? better than this. What am I, fucking junkie? Get the fuck you.
Is that what he said? Yeah.
Yeah.
As a drunk,
that's
he was like, okay, you're better than this.
Yeah,
Why he's smoking weed and the other one's getting drunk fucking left and right.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But,
Let me ask you,
it's a
you
vice,
think,
you know.
you were
it's
talking about
difference.
liquor cabinets. Do you think 15 years from now we're going to have weed cabinets?
I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see, but I do believe that there could have been a lot of divorces probably that would have not happened had there been weed instead of alcohol.
No,
I
it
think
is, though.
alcohol.
I feel like the addiction to alcohol, like you can't get addicted to weed. Like they said, you like it enough. Like, yeah, there's like a.
You want it.
You want it really bad.
mental
now
addiction.
Nick's running up.
Hold on,
and
Nick.
see-
I'll give you the
can
mic in a
say,
sec, Nick.
okay.
But like with alcohol,
Nick's
right?
like, no, you can.
There's
God
a-
damn it.
There's something in alcohol that frees you of yourself, that you are not you anymore.
Something I miss greatly.
Right?
Yeah,
So
that's
you're
what I
just
miss the
not
most.
you, but with weed, you're still you.
Yeah.
You're doing
So-
the best not to.
Why would you go out to smoke weed?
See,
You
if
know
I
what
was
I'm saying?
drinking, I'd tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hear. Nick thinks you can get addicted to weed, I'm thinking.
You can't get addicted to.
What do we got,
you
Nick?
cannot Get addicted.
Well,
to
hold
weed.
up, everybody. Nick the Square.
Here's the thing, though. If you smoke it every fucking hour, to the extent that you have to smoke it
Every hour?
to do anything, and you're doing nothing but smoking weed, you're just using that as a replacer for anything else.
There's some venom
At
in your
that
That's
point.
just
voice.
a good life.
You know somebody in
That's
your
a
life that
I've
does.
known quite a few somebodies.
That's just having fun.
And this
Yeah,
is
but-
not targeted at you, Mike. I want to be very clear.
Oh,
Mike
thank
doesn't
you.
smoke.
Yeah.
Mike
Wait,
does
now
not
it is.
smoke
Oh,
at
yes,
all.
it is. You
Mike
fuck.
doesn't-
Or the weed smokers that listen to this.
No, it's definitely targeted to those weed smokers.
Exactly. You just
Here's the
targeted
thing.
Mike
Here's the
without even
thing.
targeted him.
It's the people that are smoking every hour, on the hour, and doing nothing else.
Doing nothing.
Nothing.
If you do something,
Or-
then
or-
okay.
Come
Or they're
on,
doing
who's that?
something and they stop doing that something to go smoke weed.
Who is
All right,
that?
I
though?
ready? Do you know anybody who smokes weed and does nothing all day except smoke weed?
I don't.
Do you?
I don't hang out with people that smoke weed. They don't do anything all day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
it's bad
first of
enough
all-
that I smoke weed.
It's like me in a room with another me. It's terrible.
I see. I don't know anybody who doesn't smokes weed and does nothing either. I think that's the outside looking in, my man.
No.
I think so. Yeah, Nick, you're square.
This is 3 roommates of mine.
We're not
in my
talking
life.
about fucking
I
doing-
am a
Well,
fireman.
Nick, exactly. Nick's like, he's a different breed. He's that new kid kind of a guy who's and God bless him for it. I don't
He's running into
Disparage.
burning
Nick
Probably
buildings,
hates
right?
cigarettes too.
know, but he's that kid who's like,
You fucking asshole.
exactly. He's over there at
Actually, I love them.
I
he's
like to
over
be.
there at CrossFit doing fucking 5,000 fucking sit-ups and push-ups and all
Yeah.
that other shit. And God bless, because when I see people and I'll drive by them and they're running and whatnot, I'm like,
Me too.
That is the guy.
Yeah, they're,
Oh, no,
yeah,
I
they're
say
checking
fuck
their
you to those guys,
their
'cause it makes me
Fitbit.
feel
Nick,
bad.
you're 5 years away from that.
no, but I mean,
5, 6, 10.
you have that.
By season 3, Nick's gonna be a fucking pothead.
You're young. You have not gone through anything.
I'm worried he's gonna find cocaine. He's
No,
gonna
you
find
know what it
cocaine.
is?
That'll be over.
That's the end of
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll be.
But you know what he hasn't gone through, Mike? He hasn't gone through any fucking heartache that makes you want to do
Oh, yeah.
shit that you
Yeah, hurt yourself.
Exactly. You haven't gone through
Yeah,
a
you
divorce.
need to hurt yourself.
You haven't lost anybody. You haven't fucking done anything. Yeah, you need to get hurt and then come back at me and fuck.
Yeah, you need.
Then
Then you.
last,
Then you
last episode, he said he broke up with his boyfriend and didn't smoke weed. So
his girlfriend.
Is that what you were saying? Oh, that's great. I love this. I can't wait to listen to that episode.
No, but you have not
You don't-
experienced anything yet. Once
I've
you
not
experience-
experienced those very specific things.
Have you
to
been in love?
middle age or adulthood, but it's not like my life has been the easiest life ever.
Nobody's is.
Right,
But my
exactly.
point is, when you lose, let's say you lose a father, a mother, you go through a divorce, you lose a child, you lose something of that nature that just
You're-
rips your fucking heart
Your
out.
life is
I got a
torn
counter.
apart from
I got a-
an
Then-
age.
I got a
You're
counter for
adopted.
him. What if you never if you never did those
Yeah,
things?
that's
You're not
true.
likely to turn to those things when you have loss. You know what I'm saying? He's more
Then
likely to
God
like
bless
go.
you.
Nick's more likely to jerk off for 2 days straight when he has. You know,
Yeah.
Absolutely, my addiction is jerking off.
I'd rather be a pothead than be a jerk
Welcome,
off.
welcome,
addiction.
welcome to the club.
Exactly.
You know, welcome,
Exactly.
welcome to the
Go
group
bathroom real
session.
quick. I'll be back
We
in
triggered him. Nick's gonna go rub one out.
15 seconds.
Although he does have that gene in him, he's got that Russian fucking. He starts drinking vodka. That shit. We're gonna see
be
Nick.
over.
We're gonna see Nick from like up here to be like he'll be on.
You know what?
He'll be in Manhattan.
Yep.
Fucking saying ask for vodka or some shit like that.
Listen, we have one episode where Nick was drunk for the listeners. If you could find it and guess which one it is, we'll do something special for you. Go find it.
Something special.
Nick will do something special for you.
Exactly.
You're drunk on the show, Nick, huh?
One episode, yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how drinking and weed sort of, and you know what, I will say something.
Or will they fuse the two?
I don't think they'll fuse.
You'll be able to drink a beer that gets you high.
I will tell you. I think it was Willie Nelson who said this.
A cannonball.
No, Willie Nelson said that weed saved his life.
Oh, yeah, he had a problem.
He said weed saved his life. He said smoking weed because what he did was he used to be a heavy drinker, heavy drinker, and then when he switched over to weed, everything changed.
Really?
Yeah, because
so he wasn't even a weed smoker. He was a drinker.
He was a drinker. Then he switched over to weed, and as he started smoking weed, everything became a lot more surreal. You're more melatonic. You're just you're in your space but zone, but you're not. You're not fucking throwing TVs out the window like these fucking. Let me ask you this:
not getting divorced again.
If Motley Crue and everybody had just fucking weed and they had no fucking booze,
They wouldn't have been Motley Crue.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been no fucking TVs thrown out of the window. The
Their music would have sucked.
Well, I get that. I got that too.
Their music does suck.
Come on, listen, I saw The Dirt
Motley
recently.
Crue.
Did you see the
Motley Crue?
For real, fuck Motley Crue, but I saw The Dirt recently and it got me so hyped for Motley Crue. Now all I listen to is like girls.
What's his name? Was pretty good in that.
He was. What? Machine Gun Kelly?
Machine Gun Kelly. Yeah, he's not too bad in it. He really isn't.
I thought
He still does.
Yeah. No, but the music quality and whatnot.
Justin Bieber don't have a daughter.
That says something about us, though, too. So we keep reaming all this shit in today's music with rap and whatnot, but then we got to carry Motley Crue and all that.
Oh yeah,
on our fucking shoulders.
Yeah, every hair band.
Yeah.
Right? And even some of that early grunge.
How do you guys feel that music's probably going to be like dead in the water when my daughter's age?
I don't think it will be.
You don't think Motley Crue's going to be dead?
No, I think
It'll
they'll
be gone.
always be. I think Motley Crue will always fucking, for some reason, Motley Crue,
Kiss.
Ozzy Osbourne, Kiss, they will always be there. I do.
Disagree, man. Yeah, I feel like the only reason I know of them because I was introduced to them early, and I know there's people in this world my age who have not heard of these people.
Or they're going to die out with us.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, anybody
and
50.
And then next generation of
50,
AI new songs.
The last 50-year-old alive now. And then Motley Crue will be like, in the books somewhere.
But I will tell you, I would love to have that opportunity again. You had the opportunity with, what's his name, from Poison, Bret Michaels.
Oh, that'd be sick.
He just seems like such a cool dude.
Brett, we know you're listening. Come on the show, buddy.
Come
Come on the show,
Real
buddy.
humble, nice guy.
Yeah, humble, nice guy.
We got Nick here waiting for you.
Yeah. So I think that's a.
I had a topic I wanted to touch back on with the street weed and
Street weed.
I guess we're calling it black market weed compared to dispensaries. Are you going to go buy moonshine from so-and-so in the sticks, or are you going to go buy your case of beer from the gas station? And I think that's eventually what it's going to turn into.
See, I go to sticks, man. I'll take.
See, I lived in Kentucky, and I have had moonshine, literally from a fucking distillery in Kentucky, and it's the most gnarliest shit.
It's gnarly.
You cannot drink that shit straight.
You ever Everclear?
If you can drink it straight,
yeah, you got a problem.
you got a big fucking problem.
They keep you there if you could drink it straight, man.
Yeah, I went to school in Bowling Green. I went to WKU, and I literally know Kentucky moonshine because of that. But
are you going to go search that out, or are you going to go buy beer?
I don't know the question.
Like I'm trying to compare it to black market weed and dispensary weed.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That would be Mike to be able to answer that, because I don't know.
Mike, if you were still drinking and weed, somebody was making beer in their house, you're just not going to get their beer, right?
No.
And I think that's what's eventually going to happen with marijuana.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be able to buy it at like Walmart.
And I think that people will grow their own and have their own stash, just like you
I
can make
was
wine
amazed.
at home.
I went to the dispensary with Vin. I was amazed how I thought it was going to be sort of like, I don't know, sort of like cheesy and whatnot, but it looks like a
pharmacy.
It looks like a pharmacy.
Yeah.
They got,
White lab
flat
coats
screen TVs, white lab coats on. They are not playing around.
So they're selling that, but they also have a requirement medically.
Yes.
to do that.
Yes. But
to be safe and to make sure
but-
that all of the products handled in a certain way.
No, I get that. I get that.
But as of January this coming year, they have a second part being built, which is open to the public. So you don't need shit.
My point is, I do not think of weed in any way, shape, or form anymore as taboo. Where like my father would have thought, if you smoked weed,
Yeah, you're
the devil.
scumbag.
Worse.
Yeah, you should be
devil.
hung for
Do
treason.
you remember?
He could sit there with he could sit there with a flask of vodka.
Sorry, Nick's mom.
and
yelling at your mom, yelling at, shut up.
Shut the fuck up. But he was like, holy shit. And he'll pour you a big fucking thing of vodka. But God, if you smoked weed, you're holy shit. You're the devil.
Do
But
you
my
remember
point is
hiding
the
to smoke weed?
mentality is changing.
Do you remember having to smoke weed and like having to hide? Like when you were younger, when you smoked, like, do you remember like going somewhere to smoke? You couldn't do it in front of people. You had to go in the woods with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
I don't smoke.
Yeah,
weed.
certain people.
Only
You never smoked weed in your life?
I smoked weed.
He's not a weed smoker. I could
He
vouch for
prob-
him. You know what? He's not a
He's probably
weed
dabbled
smoker.
when he was a kid. He just doesn't want to tell.
Yes, I've smoked
Maybe
weed.
dabbled.
Yes,
Yeah.
and quite frankly,
didn't inhale.
If I'm gonna smoke weed, or if I'm gonna I think weed just gives you a lot better perspective in terms of it just relaxes you, and it's something that I think is more prevalent. And I got to say this, and I will say this, and I don't give a shit. If I had a son that I have 3, but my point is, if they chose to do one or the other in today's world, in today's kind of context, it'd probably be more of a weed kind of a thing.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I could. And this ain't my show, but if it was, I'd tell you all the trouble I got into and all I put my parents through from drinking as a younger.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And if I didn't do it, how much money I would have saved them, and you know?
Yeah, or if you're just high, you probably would have talked yourself
Yeah,
out
you
of
just
the
wanna make a pizza,
minimal
wouldn't have left
version.
home.
You just want to make a pizza.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
a
you would have been a
pizza,
good kid at home, like reading up on something,
Playing video games like normal.
trying to
Make
learn,
a pizza, fucking watch a
Trying to
movie,
build-
Hugging my
go to
parents,
bed.
yeah.
trying to build something.
Yeah. Tell my parents how much I appreciate them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and still,
I think you would think more about it. It's we right? Like I don't know. We
don't
introvert you a little bit. You think about the things that matter.
Well, it just reminds me, as a kid, I don't know if this happened to you, but my father used to have we used to have a van, and this was in 1970. It shows you how old I am.
What was your dad doing with that van there?
No, but we used to go.
Hey kids, you want some candy?
I don't know how this one started.
He
but
lured the
anyway.
kids in with vodka. It was Nick. Your dad got Nick.
Not good.
yeah,
We're going to reverse.
Yeah, it's gonna have to
We're
Put a
going
big
to
X.
cancel that one.
put a big X on that
All
one.
right, big X on that one.
Plot twist. They're brothers.
Plot
Why don't you take a seat over there?
It was funny, but no. But my point was that when in the 70s, you know, parents didn't even ask you to put their seatbelts on. They was like, you know what? You had a seatbelt, you fucking put it over 3 kids and whatnot. If you had a van, you were just driving
The seat,
around.
the seat
I
in the
remember-
front middle, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, front middle seat.
I don't even think they were drinking and driving rules back then, right?
Still had just
If they were very lax,
yeah, they-
probably at that point in time. You know, when you just drove around, you fucking and
That's when a cop would ask you how much you had and then believe you.
yeah, exactly.
Right? You
I
know?
wonder in
Ask
the
you for one.
70s.
Yeah. I had dinner.
Well, you know what? That's very, very interesting because when you think about it, I wonder when they had the ability, and that's a good question, when they had the ability to actually test you.
Breathalyzer, yeah.
A
When did that-
breathalyzer. When did that come about? Because it used to be probably was just like you're on Scout's Honor. You're like, no, sir, I didn't have anything. And they're like, and if they liked you, they probably let you go. If they didn't, and when did it come into a
I think they would notice you're inebriated. Inebriated.
inebriated?
Are you sure you're
I'm
not
a little.
inebriated?
I'm inebriated right now. No.
It's 1939.
What?
The breathalyzer.
It came about in
The
1939.
police started using it in 1939.
Are you shitting me? Did we have carbon? I didn't even realize.
It's
that.
amazing. But
Yeah,
then it
yeah.
was just a night in jail. It wasn't like a big thing against your whole
You're
record.
probably right. You're probably
your insurance and everything.
Yeah.
You do a night in jail, and then
Yeah.
all right, Barney,
we got fact check.
right.
here's your keys.
Exactly.
We got
Like,
we got
okay,
fact check
Barney.
over here, fellas. So this was something called what was it? The drunkometer was used in 1934. It sounds like a kid's toy.
That's even better.
1974.
Oh, forget about that. But I mean, when did it come?
1974 is when the breathalyzer we know today.
Okay, what was the
74.
what was the content that you could have?
Oh, okay. So no, the drunkometer worked, and actually by the 1950s, it was being
Blood
used in a lot of police vehicles.
Okay, what was it? What
was the alcohol blood alcohol limit?
I
Yeah,
can
what
call
was
my
it?
dad and ask him? He was alive then.
We'll find out. We're searching it.
No, I'm just curious because you know what? I think rightfully so. As you know, cars became more. I don't want to say mainstream, but I guess that's what it was.
Portable, yeah.
Portable and whatnot. And then you had, I tell you what really ripped it was MAD. Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They,
see,
yeah,
I
they-
don't know.
like
That's new for my generation.
and-
Never heard of that.
And
Testimonies.
And quite frankly, I'm with them. I get it. I mean, if you lose a kid or something like that happens,
Oh yeah.
I understand.
That and the cost for the average person who gets a DWI, got to be $8,000.
Oh, so
I mean, aside from killing, like say
Much-
not killing. You know, if you just got a DWI and you didn't kill someone, let me just
yeah,
specify that.
yeah.
So we got the old Googler, and in 1938, a BAC of 0.15, which is 3 times the amount that is considered inebriated.
Oh yeah.
The legal limit right
1938.
now.
And those cars
Yeah,
went like
38.
20 miles an hour.
38, you could have
back
about
then.
three beers
Yeah,
in
yeah.
you.
There's a
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The legal limit now is 0.08, and it's changed a few times, gone up, gone down.
0.05.
There's a
I want to
push
know back in
to bring it lower.
1985, 1990, what it was.
What it was when you were driving?
Yeah, like you could drunk drive on a horse and wagon. Wow. Right? You
Yeah.
can drunk drive a
Are
horse
they
and
coming
wagon.
at
Oh,
us?
yeah.
I
You
think
probably-
No, I'm
they're coming at us now. Right
100%,
now.
Al.
Well, it all
Your
depends
fucking
on
horse has been shitting outside this studio every
They're
week.
coming
Oh.
at us now.
Well,
Mike.
depends on if the horse is drunk.
These two little fuckers. I swear to God. Well, actually,
Yeah, they're over there
Danny's a lot
teaming up.
older.
We've been trying to find out if it's you or the horse that's shitting outside. I don't know.
I think Al doesn't respect me because of my age.
I love you, but yeah, I don't respect
I think it's
you.
because of your stature.
I think it's Family Feud episode today.
Yeah. But
Top 5 answers.
I'm trying to figure out 1990. What was the did it change?
It
the
absolutely
BAC?
changed because it changed within the past 10 years.
Yeah. So now is there a weed-o-meter? How do they fucking
Yes, okay, I just saw this on the news. They have invented something that will test. It doesn't test how much you have.
Yeah.
It tests if you have in your system.
Wow.
And that is a DUI.
If
Really?
it's in your system for 30 days, though.
No, I think they tweaked it. To,
Oh, they figured out so it's in the immediate,
Yeah.
or they know they can identify what is what's
just
in
saw
the
a video on
system
this, yeah.
immediately, and then what's
yeah,
after.
it's like a little. It's a swab. They swab it, put it in a machine, close it for a minute, open it, and it's
There
yes
go
or no.
there go my 5 mile per hour drives down back roads.
That's not in New York yet.
Fuck.
It's not in New York yet. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Well, I got. You know what? I got a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever been pulled over with weed on you before? It was
I have,
legal?
yeah, I've been.
I was going to ask.
I've been.
I know he is.
Can you tell us that story?
Well, I've been persecuted.
He almost took
Oh.
my car.
Yeah, I was.
Remember
I
gave
was
you my car for that?
persecuted.
I gave you the green truck.
Yes.
For a little bit.
They 3 times I got busted with weed. One time I got busted. I got pulled over in my
UPM?
friend's
Simple UPM.
simple UPM. Yeah, 2 of them didn't stick. The other one did.
What is UPM?
Boy, they nailed me.
Unlawful possession of marijuana. That law does not exist anymore.
Doesn't. But
Okay,
they at the end of the law, they were banging people over the head. They got me for like $500
give
per time.
give us a graphic on it. What occurred? So
Uh,
you were driving, and what happened?
I was up near a reservoir up in the Catskills, and I was driving with my friend Al. You remember Al?
Of course.
Al Moore. And
And Almore was in the passenger seat, or was he driving? You were driving.
he was in the passenger seat. I was driving. He was all fucked up. You know, he was drunk and taking pills.
I was about to say, I know Almore. He's probably fucked up. But go
He was
ahead.
fucked up, drunk, and taking pills. And a cop pulled us over.
Okay.
Right? I had a problem with my inspection. There was a problem with my inspection, right? And so the cop pulled us over and noticed my friend was noticeably inebriated. You know? And then he started to try and my friend Al tried to
Wait a minute.
name throw a cop he knew.
He noticed your friend was inebriated.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, once we got out of the car, you know,
Okay.
and you could recognize it. He didn't need to do a test, you know.
Right. But what did that have to do with you? I would have been like, that should have been your claim to fame. You'd have been like, my friend's drunk. I'm driving him home. Blah 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 blah. All right, but go ahead.
I don't know. We didn't work it out beforehand. we didn't. Anyways, long and short of it, right? My friend, my buddy dumps his beer right in the middle of someone's driveway, the edge of the driveway. And the cop's like, "What are you doing?" I'm fucking getting rid of this, you know. And he's like, "I didn't ask you to dump that out." Anyways, then we got busted with about a gram of weed.
Okay,
it was like 1 gram, little nugget, you know.
Yeah.
And we split the charge.
You split.
Which one of us should have taken the hit, and then the other one probably should have paid.
Right.
You know, but we split the charge, so we both had to go to court.
Okay.
And we both had to pay the fine.
Okay, so it was a fine situation.
A fine situation.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was. Thank you. And that was fine. No, that was situation.
That was in the court that what's his name? Garfunkel. Art Garfunkel went to court for a marijuana charge.
That was up in the
up near what is it? Hurley.
Phoenicia?
It's Hurley.
Okay, Hurley.
The town of Hurley.
Okay, but that's still up in the
Catskills.
Catskills, the whole, what is it? The everybody knows it though from not Phoenicia, but they know it from
Woodstock.
Woodstock. There you go. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, right next to Woodstock there. And Art was headed up there in his limousine and got busted with weed. Pled guilty.
Gotcha.
Didn't care.
Yep.
And then he had to do a reunion tour with Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't allow him into any of the Asian countries if he didn't get the charges brought or the case brought back up and then overturned. So he
That
had
was
to
that
lawyer
taboo
up.
era. Taboo era.
Okay,
so that happened, right?
Anyways,
so
the judge told us that story.
Let me ask you this though. So do they take you in? Or do they just give you a citation? Citation. That's it.
Yeah, cop was nice. Though.
Okay.
You know?
So
that's
what was
number
the penalty?
one.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
What was the penalty of getting caught at the time?
A fine. He said.
Just a fine. Now,
just a fine, possession of marijuana.
See, I've always been lucky enough that my friends have had it on them when we got caught. It was never me, so I don't know how it goes. Like now, obviously, it's legal. Is that off your record, or is that just like what is the deal with that?
I think now it's like a badge of honor. I got clout.
So wait a minute. That was number one, right?
Yeah.
Number two.
Yeah, number two. Where else? Oh, in my buddy Evan's driveway, I was headed to a party at his house where I barely knew anyone. And I accidentally hit my brights, you know, and I was pulling into the driveway, and apparently a cop was pulled over on the side waiting for speeders, and he got me.
For your brights?
Yeah. By accident, I clicked the brights, you know, like I was signaling.
So
and
when you say
he pulled me over in the driveway,
Okay.
and there were a couple cops at the party, and the cops were coming over, and they were trying to, like, you know, get a little pull. And the cop was just like, "Fuck you guys, get out of here."
Mike, has a guy ever went up and went?
I lied to him about having it on me, though.
Did he know who you were?
He's like, "I'm going to ask you a
That's what I was
question
going
right
to
now."
ask. Has
Did he
anybody
know
ever
who you
came
were?
up and went, "Oh, you're Mikey Tuttle"? I don't give a fuck. Here's a UPM.
Yeah. I've usually gotten either preferential treatment or someone's trying to fuck with you.
Yeah.
So it could go.
So
It
let's
goes
say
either
number-
way, just
let's
like anything.
say number two. So was it Evan? So this guy was trying to fuck with you. So he was sort of a dick.
Yeah, he's being a dick to. I thought they were always courteous to other cops.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
but he was a local cop. He wasn't
Oh.
like a. He wasn't like a
Okay, got it.
metro cop.
All right, gotcha. All right, number three.
It's a little embarrassing.
You don't have to share.
I caught at the border suitcasing a joint.
A joint.
That's when you shove
Just a joint.
a joint up your.
Just one joint.
And they busted you for that? I mean, they
Well, you smuggle it in your pee hole. There's a pinner. Now that's disgusting. No, the third time, I got New Paltz.
New Paltz.
New Paltz. Yes,
Yeah.
I went to go pick a friend up who was drinking at Bacchus.
Okay.
One of my
Shout
old
out Bacchus
favorite.
when you're listening.
Shout out, one of my old favorite watering holes there. And he was wasted. So my buddy Pete, I had to go pick him up. And I had a similar thing where it was I think the registration. Boom, got pulled over by campus
Right,
police.
the cops again by
You
mistake.
mean
And then they kind of fuck with me. And I remember one of the cops, he called me Mikey
Oh, he did.
before,
Yeah,
because Mike or Michael,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
if it's a
sure.
person of authority.
Yeah.
It's a little tell, like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know, this guy's going to keep me here with
Yeah.
the lights going.
And they're fucking taking like selfies with you or some shit like that. I
Oh,
wonder if
yeah.
that ever had have that happened?
No,
I was gonna say
no, it wasn't that. No, they were fucking roasting me, man. They had me on the spit. I think they just want to fuck those lights. You sit in the car for like an hour.
It's entirely
Like, I don't know whether to go to sleep or
To
freak
be
out.
honest with you, I think that's unfair. I think because I've seen that at night.
I should have lawyered up.
You know what? Hold on. This podcast has been very one-sided. Al, have you ever been pulled over, DWI, anything?
Nope.
God bless.
All right, way to go.
God bless.
Yeah. Nope.
I got two. Thank God when DUAIs. I got one 10 years ago and then one the day I found out my father had cancer.
Oh,
And every
that's
time
understandable.
I get pulled over by the cops, even though I work with cops, my main gig is designing for mostly police.
Yeah.
I am a jerk off to the cops and I don't care.
Oh, you're a cop hater.
I have a theory.
I'm not though. It's just when I get pulled over.
I have a theory behind this.
my buddy TJ's like that. He just takes it out on cops.
You know,
like,
my
how do you take
theory
it out on a
is-
cop though?
My theory is
They're gonna
this.
fucking hit you, or they're
I
gonna
do
arrest
not. I spoke to a few cops who are friends of mine. They said at 9 p.m. is where they start looking for people. I do not drive at night. Let's say if I've had anything
Al does not drink and drive
at night.
ever.
At night.
Ever.
At night.
Ever.
It's not night until 7. So
No, my point
The
is.
cops are going to start posting up outside the studio.
No, my point is.
He needs headlights. They don't.
outside the studio.
My point is, you're right about those lights. Those lights will fuck you over. I mean, I've seen people. I don't even get it. Let's say if you're, first of all, the lights are going to hit you anyhow. So when you're driving at night and you've had something, those lights are going to fuck with you anyhow.
Yeah,
So
they do
I
kinda-
do not. Yeah, I don't. I will tell
they
you a
buzz
funny
you
story.
around.
I will tell you a story. There was a guy who got pulled over right in front of my house, and I'm sitting there, and this had to be about 11:30 at night. And literally, my house, I have these big windows in front of my house. I can see the street.
Perfect view of a
Perfect
pullover over
view.
there.
And I have my curtains, and I'm opening the curtains, and I could tell this guy's going through the business.
Let me ask, did you pour a bottle of something or pour a glass and watch?
I know, but I was cheering for him. I was like, come on, because he was doing the whole, walk of shame and all this shit and going back and forth and talking to the cop. And I was like, come on.
You got this.
I was like, you got this, man. You got this, man.
How'd he do?
The cop let him go. And I
Oh,
was
let's
like,
go.
And I was like, let's go. Let's go.
That's a win for mankind.
And, but we cannot condone. I mean, if you're fucked up, you should not be driving.
Call
I mean,
fucking
come on.
Uber.
We
What's
just gave that guy a
$10?
standing ovation.
Yeah, no, but
But you're right,
Standing
you're
over
right.
because you
No,
know
if
what?
you can do it-
Obviously, maybe he was not. I didn't go out there and fucking try to talk to the guy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
maybe
he,
was-
he might have
maybe
had
he
a
was just
half a
being
beer.
singled out. Yeah,
Listen,
maybe he
you're
was
better
gonna
than
have
me. When I was living on Liberty Street, there used to be DUIs outside all the time. And I used to go out the window, leave those fucking kids alone. I was 5 floors up. They couldn't tell who was screaming it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Water
I'm not
balloons.
condoning anything of that nature, but I will tell you that I just I don't like fucking with it.
Yes, let's make that very known. We are not condoning drinking and driving.
Absolutely
If you had more than
not.
2, and
Call
somebody.
fucking Uber.
Call somebody.
Do an Uber.
Walk.
Call a friend.
Fall
get
asleep
an
outside
Uber.
somewhere.
It's absolutely not cool. But in the 70s and 80s and 90s,
You couldn't drive without it.
It didn't. There was no.
Did your dad do the coffee cup full of
I think every dad probably did
in the coffee cup or the
yeah.
straight up can?
I think everybody's done the coffee cup, right?
Yeah, or the bottle that's
Or the
kind of
bottle,
cradled next to the
yeah.
recliner in the
In
corner,
between your
caddy
two-
corner. I got
In
this
between
over here. Nobody sees
In
this.
between your thighs?
Yep.
Yeah, of course. I mean, unfortunately, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, anybody who's out there who we do not condone that. That is bullshit. But at the same time, we're just talking about what truly happened in life. I mean, it was just a fact that back then it was just not as prevalent and looked at as it is now. And maybe it should have been, but life
Al, back
evolves.
then cigarettes were not killing you too. So
That's
there's
true,
a lot,
too.
there's a lot of stuff that wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they were still killing you.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
doctors.
As far as we knew.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. So
They knew for a while. They just hid it.
Big tobacco pharmacy.
Well, that's the point. That's the
Pharma.
point.
yeah, that's a whole nother fucking
What
thing.
if big weed is just hiding that it gives you like ultra cancer
I have
in
a
80 years?
Gladly die from
In
ultra
in like
cancer.
80 years,
yeah.
and they're just covering up all the deaths.
You know what's crazy though? What in Europe and Mike can attest to this. When we go to Europe, or when we did go to Europe, it's been a while now, but when we went to Europe, what they do over there is they roll their own cigarettes, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Because the tobacco content has to be so much. There's no filter on it.
Yeah.
So they would just roll it up in a paper, almost like a joint, right?
Yep.
And geez,
Smoke it like a cowboy.
Smoking like a cowboy, right?
Yep. No problem, too.
And they would have a whole pouch of fucking just tobacco.
Yeah.
That has to be so much more from a content, right? It's not a THC content. What is it? Tobacco content? That it's got to hit your lungs so much harder than.
Yeah.
I used to smoke
like a hard
roll my own during my younger days when I didn't have much money.
Where did you get the tobacco?
You just buy bags of tobacco and rolling papers from any gas station.
It's got to be so much harsher, though, right?
I would say it's probably not saying cigarettes are better for you, but you don't have the tar, the bullshit in there. If anything, I'd say it's probably the healthier alternative if you're going to smoke. Not saying it's healthy, but
You're telling me that rolling that your own shit is better than fucking smoking a Marlboro.
listen, obviously
With
do
the
your research
filter.
on the product and see what's in there. But if it's straight tobacco, I would say that's healthier than a cigarette.
Wow. That's one thing I'm happy. I mean, I used to. Did you ever smoke, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
You smoke smokes?
Me too.
Cigarettes?
Yeah,
What are you,
yeah.
Newport
I didn't
guy?
know that.
No, I like Parliament.
Me too. Parliament Light.
too.
Parliament. Yeah.
Parliament Light.
Parliament Lights with
Yeah,
the little
baby.
fucking
Yeah.
thing and the little.
What were you
filter.
doing
Yeah,
with
the
that?
filter was cool.
What were you
Oh
doing
my
with that
God.
filter?
What do you mean?
Do you know? I know what those filters are originally for, and everyone knows what they use them for now.
I don't know what they use.
So parliaments were made with that recessed filter for machine gunners in the military, so they didn't break their cigarettes while they were shooting their gun. They would bite down on it and shoot their gun,
Oh, fantastic.
I never
and then
knew
it
that.
turned into a way to do cocaine. They
Really?
dipped the empty end.
Wow.
I just use a
Awesome.
Benjamin.
I knew that.
It's classic.
Yeah, I guess it's the
Sorry,
perfect
Nick.
little.
You were fucked up because you knew that. I didn't know that.
Did you know
I
that?
could dig it.
You know
I could
how?
dig
I wish I'd known that when I smoked
right?
Parliament.
You're like, yeah.
No, you know,
Would've
No,
just
but I
done
smoked
it just-
Parliament.
no, you
Lights,
know what
too.
coolies are, though, right?
Yeah,
Coolies.
joint roll with coke in it.
Yeah, you man. I mean,
Man, I am cool.
I never smoked. I never
I know
smoked.
my stuff.
What is
Ooh,
what
yeah.
is the
the coolie.
no Newports and that kind of shit? I never smoked. I never
That
smoked
was the high school
Newports,
cigarette in
never
Newburgh.
Never smoked. Are they coolies? Is that what it is?
No,
Menthol?
Coolie is
that's Cools.
cocaine in a cigarette.
Oh, never did that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't either, but I've seen people.
You did that, Mike?
No.
It looks
I didn't
gross.
do that.
Smells
No,
gross.
it's. I think it's also. What's a joint rolled with the coke?
Oh man,
Is that a
just
coolie
watched
or
what's
it's not
it
a
called? And they
coolie?
said it. Denzel Washington when they flipped the bird over.
A
What's it
blunt?
called?
I don't know.
Banana boat.
Banana boat.
Banana
Here's what I
boat,
don't
man.
get. Here's what I don't get. Okay, I understand fentanyl. I get it. If it's in a pill, you don't fucking take the pill. I get that. But why would somebody put fentanyl in weed?
I don't believe that happens.
I don't either.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was talking to a
Does that
friend
make
about
any
that
sense?
last
It
night. I'm like,
absolutely does.
who's wasting their time? First of all, I could see in gummies or something edible, but if you're gonna smoke fentanyl, you're gonna taste it.
And I heard it smells
Because
like
I've
popcorn.
smoked pills before. Don't ask.
You would know. Listen, all the people that I've heard talk about it say you would know. It smells like popcorn. It like sparks
Tastes like
when it lights.
shit.
I smoked. You smoked pills before.
I have.
Now, how
I
do you
put
smoke a
Xanax
pill?
in a joint, and I don't think it has any bioavailability
I don't know if
to
that
it.
does anything.
No, burns away. But I know
sound
what
like
a pill
sick-
tastes
I
like when
sound
you
like
smoke
a
it.
sick drug addict. I just want to let the
No,
public
but
know
it's all-
I
it's
drink
just
and
all-
smoke
you
weed.
know, we're just having a
I'm sorry,
discussion
Vince,
about
Mom.
this.
I was just a kid.
Smoke pills, but I didn't understand the Adderall. I didn't. Well, that's a whole.
The
nother
fentanyl,
thing.
I don't-
Fentanyl.
I think they're putting it on weed, man.
Then you have Adderall. People snort Adderall.
Ooh, okay, so I can give you this one. Adderall.
Oh yeah, I can. Oh yeah, here comes Nick.
People inject Adderall directly into their penises. What? Mm-hmm. This is something that happens.
More. Tell us more.
Yeah.
I can't.
How do you do that? Because it's not a liquid form.
So it's the same way that they would do with cocaine, same thing. But Adderall is gonna give you.
but it's not a
benefits.
liquid form. You got to put it in a liquid form.
Yeah,
form?
they do. They do it one way or the other. They're
I don't know
able
what-
to
what
dissolve.
way-
They're able to get the pills into a liquid form.
So it's almost
it's
like
capsule,
a crack
right?
kind of a thing. You fucking light it
I
up.
couldn't tell you how. I've never injected.
I've never
anything
heard of
into
that.
And listen, earlier we were talking about the kids drinking and smoking weed.
Oh, you got to
I
get the.
know,
You got to
exactly.
get the.
We went from weed to fucking
I'm so-
Adderall.
I wasn't
to-
paying attention. No,
to-
you got to get the blue vein at the base.
The blue vein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need.
Yeah.
Need a tourniquet of some sort.
Well, it's easy to find the blue. I'm white, so it's very easy to find that blue vein.
I know that.
Oh.
Every listener
Also
knows
big.
you're white.
Oh.
Every listener knows
What
you're
a
white, Nick.
fucking racist comment.
see in your face.
I want these two. I want those guys in the back to come beat your ass right now. You racist fuck.
Beat this racist up.
All I said is it's easy to find my veins.
No, I'm just playing. We love you.
You are transparent.
Chris, is it easy to find your dick
Yeah,
vein?
you're transparent. Oh, now we're getting personal.
I know. He's talking about white dick veins or some shit like that.
Anyway,
What? Blue
but
dick,
also-
white veins?
But study.
It's
study
very
they call it?
pasty.
Is that why they call it blue
Well,
chew?
What?
Is that why they call that Viagra alternative blue
But
chew?
that's Seattle.
I don't know.
They call it blue chew because it's blue. And you chew.
That's shit branding. Hire us.
So
Magic coffee.
but the other thing is it's commonly used as a study aid or for partying.
Through your dick?
Well, I know
Not through your
Adderall.
dick. So the dick thing gets you hard.
So why couldn't you just pop a fucking Viagra? Why would you take?
Apparently.
Wait, but majority of people using Adderall are like college kids. Why the fuck they need to get their dicks hard?
But I thought
I know, if
Adderall
you
was.
can't-
I thought Adderall was a
Can't
party
keep it
drug
up at
too.
that age.
I don't know. I've never done it.
I haven't. I mean, I have Adderall, but I've never done
Bring
it.
it in. Let's
Helps you
start
if you have
shooting
like
it.
ADHD. Yeah, bring
Next
it in
week
next
we're gonna
week.
shoot Adderall into our dicks. Right? This will get us attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll go viral.
See how
Right?
big our dicks.
It's sexually viral.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that's like serious. He's saying it helps you get hard. Who the fuck in college needs this to get hard?
I don't know.
And I don't know. I don't know.
Nick?
It's used for ADHD medicine, right? It helps you focus.
For people with ADHD, as it's so clear I have, I don't. It's not
Focus?
It's going to
Focus.
affect me.
You know
it's going to
what?
affect
Focus.
me the way
Knowing
it
the
should.
problem is half the problem.
Okay.
What's that?
Didn't you earlier say something? I actually wanted to make that
Focus?
joke. It was funny.
Centralized.
Not about me. Anyway, yada yada. Shut up.
You
Sorry.
can make any jokes about me because I make enough about you. You
So-
can do anything you want.
Adderall, when given to somebody whom it will benefit, is a great drug. For people that have a normal brain or normative brain operations in terms of focus and the centers that control, the impulse control centers, it's
Central
so
nervous
much worse.
system kind of a thing.
It kind of deadens those people.
Okay.
But it gets them really intensely hyper-focused on things, and it acts as a really good study aid. However, it's not going to keep that memory once even if that Adderall, even if you keep taking it, it's not going to keep your memory. Also, your heart rate goes way up.
So you got to be one of the
Because-
fucked up kids.
They're taking more. They're taking.
Yeah, I would wonder how is that.
Okay,
in
so what-
comparison to like a caffeine
When I
kind
don't
of
have
thing?
my pills, because many of these stimulants have been on back order, what they do is they stimulate the centers of your brain that do impulse control. So they're making those better until they wear off.
Obviously not, but go
Thank
on.
you.
No, just go on. Sorry, Nick. I was just messing.
It helps me immensely. Otherwise, my brain is always buzzy. It feels like marbles are there.
So, but wait a minute. I don't understand. If you're already hyped up, how does Adderall as a stimulant help somebody like yourself or somebody else?
So I just said that they
I didn't understand it.
stimulate the centers that help with control.
So if I take an Adderall, I'm fucking popping off the walls.
No,
and
you're gonna be really, really hyper focused. You'll be really, really calm.
Oh,
But it'll
Really?
be
Send
to
me-
a dangerous extent. Your heart might go down. Your
Oh,
heart rate might go down. Your entire thought process, everything's it's gonna be a brand new experience.
so if
for
you don't
essentially.
need it, don't take it.
If you don't
Yeah, if
need
you
it,
don't need it,
please,
don't take
that's
it.
with any controlled substance, I think.
If you don't need it, don't take it.
You know,
take it.
Unless you really
I
want
think
to
a lot
take
of
it.
people rely on the drugs.
Our
you know, even though it
motto
counter-
is if you don't need it, you don't take it. Although we take a lot of shit.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
a lot of shit.
Yeah, as we all have oral fixations with the smoke and drinking.
Yeah.
And
No, but
Nick's
I
oral
agree.
fixation has nothing to do with drugs. Sorry,
But
Nick's
let me
mom.
ask you. Okay, I got a question for you though. What is the difference? And I don't know this. What is the difference between, let's say, an Adderall and a Ritalin?
I think it's just the way that they work.
Are they the same, similar
They're
kind of
basically
thing?
doing the exact same thing.
Okay.
They're both stimulants. They're both affecting that. It's just how they attack.
But why do the college kids want fucking Adderall? All the
Adderall
time?
is just the one that was more popular back when this was a thing. Ritalin now has been prescribed more because it doesn't do as much harm to the body.
Oh.
I got to answer that question though because I do have someone I know that takes it.
Uh-huh.
College kids tend to do shit last minute, right? So when you're out
Apparently.
partying all week, you pop that fucking Adderall the day before your essay's due. That essay's done.
and then bang, you sprint.
Oh, you just fucking zone in on it,
Yeah.
right?
My issue is I do that because of my ADHD. I procrastinate out of everything.
We know that. Thank you.
I want to do the thing, right? It's not that I'm ignoring it. I want to do it. It just doesn't. Cognitive dysfunction. And there's another word.
Well, Nick, that's what makes you you, and that's why we love you, buddy. That's
Wow.
why we fucking can't stand you, buddy.
Yeah, it's like a love-hate with you. We want to throw you in the fucking river.
Sorry, Nick's mom. We love him.
Want to throw you in the river, Nick. Well, anyways, that concludes our broadcast today. I wouldn't throw you in the river.
No, we wouldn't.
Throw you in the lake.
I think we're a wrap, fellas. Unless you got anything else.
No, I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Well,
Did we make the cutoff? And did we make
Thank
the
you again,
content?
ladies and gentlemen, for
Yeah,
joining
more
us
than
today
enough.
on the Mikey Now podcast. This is,
Mikey.
And
I'm Al.
and we have,
Podcast.
Nick.
and I'm Vin.
We have a podcast. Hi, I'm Mike. What? Hey, everybody, it's time again for the Mikey and Al podcast.
Right, so thank you for joining us. Please follow us anywhere that podcasts are found, or on YouTube, or on all the social medias except for Twitter, at Mikey and Al podcast. Also, we're not on the Chinese TikTok. Don't look for us there.
All right, cool. Good
Xi
job.
Jinping, Chen Min.
We're there, but we hate it.